This reaction is a lot of talking, so you might get bored with it and not want to complete it. So I'm going to give you the best part first. Ken did a video giving his reasons as to why he's going to give up on Cook and Review again. Thing is, I don't think he's being honest. In the intro, we play this little clip where Ken says, "This is a business."
This is a business.
This was from years ago now, and he was washing the dishes and doing a live stream. After he says, "This is a business," he went on to say, "And it costs money. And if it doesn't make any money, then why am I going to do it?" Thing is, back then, years ago, Cook and Review was still doing pretty good. It just wasn't doing good enough. So Ken angrily, bitterly gave up on it. That's why it's failed. It's because he gave up on it. It wasn't making enough money for him. And Ken does tell the truth sometimes. To him, this is a business. He approached it with the intent to follow trends and cash in, and it worked for a while. And these days, he's cashing in by pretending like he's Steve Wallace. He even steals Steve Wallace's thumbnail design. When he gives his reasons for why he doesn't do something, I want you to remember that he used to have Uncut and Raw as a channel.
I did the Uncut Raw videos,
which he would just dump his B-roll footage unedited, and that was the channel. We started doing reactions to it, and it was filled with all kinds of swearing and bitterness, and he took the whole channel down. The reasons he gave for doing so was that it doesn't make money, so why should I leave it there? Well, it is 2025, and Ken has not made a new video for KBD Toys for more than 10 years. He still leaves it up because it might get a few random views and maybe it'll make 25 cents or somebody will find something in it. Maybe it'll get a couple thousand views. He doesn't take it down, and he hadn't done anything with it for years. Uncut and Raw was an easy way to dump his B-roll footage and make a couple of dollars with it. So the reason that he gave for killing off Uncut and Raw wasn't the truth. The worst part about this video that I'm about to react to is that Ken reminds us that Carol, his wife, retired from her job at the school board. Ken now tells us that the two of them work on the channel together and that they are only surviving, which just isn't the truth. Ken is keeping this narrative going even though it betrays what he already shared with us. He told us that Carol's father sold that giant property. Then Carol retires right after. If the father is selling a giant property and moving to a retirement facility, what's he gonna do? Sit on millions of dollars or give it to his two daughters? He gave it to his two daughters. Do I know that for a fact? No. What I do know is that right after that happened, Carol retired. Why would she retire at a relatively young age just so they could suffer? She retired because they are set for money. They live like rich millionaires. What Ken is doing with his channel is just a hobby, so he can literally have a free lunch and have a bit of a cottage industry income on the side. People who are surviving and struggling don't get to go on a giant cruise, don't get to buy a $40,000 Mercedes-Benz Sprinter and play with it as a toy. Ken also tells us he's going to another vacation and then another one after that. You'd have to be nuts to think that Ken and Carol are struggling and that now Carol is working furiously in the background to keep the channel going. Why would Ken trust her to do any of those things? It's not in her training, and she's not a performer when she was given a chance to be on the channel. I wish that I could play you the rest of this live stream where Ken says he's not going to do Cook and Review anymore because it's not making enough money, because that's the real reason. However, it seems that he's taken it down, which would make sense because he's wiped out pretty much all of his live streams from his normal food channel. However, Pepperidge Farms remembers, and so do we. Ken had already gotten famously drunk on one of his drunk streams where he was breaking the terms of service huge by doing dangerous binge drinking for money while playing loads of copyright hit music. And he said, as for the food reviews, he doesn't want to do them anymore.
I just don't want to do them anymore.
He wanted to have the retirement lifestyle and run a camera at the same time. So the truth of the matter is, he tried to put Ken and Carol together with the Sprinter, and people didn't like it. And Ken was delivering even less energy than before. It got rejected by his own audience. So he was forced to return to doing the food reviews, even though he'd already told us that he can't stand doing them. Ken really tried hard to force his audience to accept rich Ken and Carol enjoying their money retirement van life. He didn't try hard by making great content. He tried really hard by insisting that they take it. And who knows, maybe it would have worked. At least he gave it a try. After it failed, what does Ken do? He copies the formula of something else which is successful. And I have to admit, even though he's not getting Steve Wallace performance, he's still doing better with these fake stealth camps than he would be doing with his food reviews, which he didn't want to do anymore anyway. If I am going to react to Ken Domik's material, then I have to do a proper job of it. And be honest, Cook and Review was good material. It was fun because Paul is fun, knows a lot about food, and he's a natural performer. He doesn't have to try to perform. He's just got an engaging personality, which probably comes from his many years of operating his own sports bar. The real reason Cook and Review failed with his latest comeback attempt is that Ken is a hack, lazy and greedy. In his own words, this is a business. Back then, Cook and Review was still doing good, yet not as good as it had been doing earlier. So Ken's personality is, I'm taking my ball and I'm going home. Parts of his audience still remember it and wanted it brought back. So he tries again. The problem is he's left it alone for so long by his own choice that most of his audience is now expecting his Steve Wallace impersonation. So they reject it. It's all Ken's fault. What he could do is bite the bullet and try to bring it back a little bit at a time. Yet because it's tough, he gives up on it, just like he gave up on CraveCon. So as we go through this review, I'm going to give you the best part that I just gave you here over and over again as we go through it. Ken Domik saying, this is a business. He is the one that wrecked Cook and Review. And it's his insistence in following other formulas which has made it seem alien to his own audience. Now, after that very long introduction, let's speed up the intro and get to it.
This is a business. Drink. Business. Yeah, I made more fucking money than you ever did. An income to support myself and my family. Carol left her job about 4 or 5 years ago. I can't remember exactly when. And now we both are surviving. Shit. Now, if you're a child, don't fucking watch this. Hey guys, how are you doing? Today, I am in Bradford, and I just had to get a pedicure done because although I can do my own feet, they do such a better job than I could ever possibly do.
Remember, folks, Ken is barely getting by, and I'm almost glad that he brought this up at the start of the video because later on he returns to the theme of him being a hard-working guy just struggling to get by. And the thing is, he's shared too much over the years because his content is so weak. If he's doing something, he runs the camera and he talks about it. Like when he gets his fancy coffee, oh, you just gotta. You just gotta. It's so much better. That's not for people who are barely getting by. And late last year, when he went on his fabulous Mediterranean cruise for about 2 weeks, that costs a fortune. That's for millionaires. That is also something that normal, struggling people can't save up for. Because cars fall apart, things need fixing in the house. You can't save up for something like that if you're struggling. So, for him to share this, oh, I just had to. He didn't have to. He got it because it's a nice thing to do. You know? It may be a little feminine. Well, who cares? You know, it doesn't. Everybody, if you can afford it, go get a professional manicure and pedicure done. The late Larry King used to get his nails done too, and he's not a struggling, poor, barely getting by guy. And here he is again, letting us know by sharing too much. Oh, I had to go and get this pedicure done.
They've got all the tools and all the equipment and all the power tools, the drills, the sanders, and all that kind of stuff to get your feet done and looking pretty.
Listen to how carefree and satisfied he sounds. If you're really struggling to get by, manicures and pedicures for the husband really don't figure into the schedule. And he doesn't even care about letting you know about it. That's what he does. He overshares all the time. This is not the lifestyle of somebody who's struggling to get by. That's something that you get when it's a luxury and you can afford it.
And, I'm going to be going to Florida soon.
This material almost writes itself. It is nice to have this channel so it can be a character study for Ken, because if you criticize him on his own channel, he can't take criticism. He will delete it, and then if you come back and say, hey, what's going on, he just bans you. So I get people coming in here, a little trickle every now and then, saying, oh, you're just hating on him, you hate him, hate. I don't hate him. He was rude to me, so I made this channel, and hey, it's been a bit of a laugh, and we have some community here too, and it's a character study. Sustaining hate for somebody over more than 5 years is just self-destructive. This is an interesting character study. And it's not hate. I'm so disappointed that a guy who not only is well-to-do with a couple million in the bank that his wife has got, it's just that he ongoing pretends to be poor, and it's unfair to people out there who really are poor. And people who are probably much poorer than Ken, to whom Ken should be sending them money, they're sending him their money. I'm just disgusted that he's always pretending to be broke and always lying and saying, I can't do this without your financial support. I need support. Support the channel. Support me. Here he is. He just went on the fantastic trip late last year of a giant Mediterranean cruise. He eats chicken sandwiches and drinks beer for a so-called living. And now, the wife had discussed it with me. We've talked about it, and now we'll be going to Florida. He lives the life of a rich retiree. And his own fans can't put two and two together. So here we go. It's another vacation for a guy who's already on vacation.
And then I'll be home for about a week and a bit. And then Carol and I are going somewhere else. And that's a surprise.
As usual, Ken is sharing too much. Because to him, content is just turn on the camera, run an errand, go to the dump, power wash deck chairs for the 4th time, add music and blather, and that to him is gold standard and gives him the entitlement to say, hey, I'm working. You people got it easy. You know, I even work on Sundays. So turning on a camera and blathering while power washing deck chairs is work to Ken. And if you don't know the story, Ken gave us a tour of the property of Carol's father's giant cottage on the lake. He built it himself. He's a plumber. It was over-engineered. It was a huge property. It was worth at least $4 million. And I'm not going to bring back the footage, and it's somewhere else on the channel, and tell the whole story all over again. Most of us here already know the story. Carol is a little bit young for retiring because she's Ken's age, 58. And this was like a couple years ago, maybe a few years ago or so. And like, that makes it even more weird because it wasn't a demanding job. She was on the school board. She wasn't a teacher. And she's young for retiring. Ken lets everybody know that her father sold that huge property. He goes to a retirement community, and the millions of dollars go to that man's 2 daughters. What else are you going to do with it? And so Carol is rich. She's living. That's how the Domiks could afford, when they couldn't get their ready-made custom Sprinter ready, they went and wasted $40,000 on the Moose Sprinter. And they just destroyed it. And Ken is like, it's a toy to him, a project. Well, I'm going to try to do the build. They covered it with glue on the inside. They drilled a ton of holes. That's what rich people do. Going on a giant cruise to the Mediterranean is something that rich people do. And even if you could believe you could save up for that, if they're struggling, you can't save up for that. He's going to Florida, and then let's listen to the way he talks. And then it's a surprise, we're going somewhere else. He just sounds exactly like the rich retiree that he is. Carol's making decisions. She wants to travel, and then we're going to go over here. And there he is sitting there right in front of you saying, then we're going somewhere else. That's a surprise. He totally sounds like a rich retired grandpa. And Mavis has decided we're doing something else. The name is Carol. It's, anyway, let's keep moving.
So, I needed to get my feet done. I'm not sure about you, but pretty much starting in December into January, February, March, my feet get really dry. My shins get really dry. My toenails start getting longer because you're always wearing socks and shoes. You're not wearing sandals and bare feet in the summertime and stuff. So you kind of let things go.
Listen to Ken and his first world problems with all the other problems that people have that are for real. Oh, you let your toenails go.
And I know there's a lot of people out there that do the same thing. Let me know in the comments below if you share my same situations. But every so many months, it's always nice to have this. It's almost therapeutic. So just before I went, and I grabbed a coffee and just sat back, and the chair has a massage thing on it.
Yeah, that's great. Kick back and close your eyes while you're driving an automobile. Ken doesn't have a care in the world. And he lets us know far too often because his content is based on just blathering, and returning as always to formulas. And part of that formula is, I need your support. I'm barely getting by. I'm the breadwinner. I'm the only provider for the family. They're comfortably retired. They don't need your money.
You just sit back and let them do their thing. And again, it's just, I don't know, there's something about it, having somebody else do it. If you have the money, have somebody else do it.
This almost doesn't need my commentary. Just listen to the things he says. Oh, let me tell you, you just gotta have it. You just gotta do it. It's something you gotta have. You just gotta make the decision to say, I'm having this. Oh, if you got the money, you gotta go get a pedicure. And he talks like a rich retiree. Yeah, we know him as the goofball who had his big time when the fad was working good for eating garbage in the car. And now, all you gotta do is look at the thumbnails for Steve Wallace. Ken is ripping off that whole other formula. And you know what? It's working for him, I gotta admit. It's not huge views, yet, getting around 100,000 plus for pretending to be freezing with a stealth camp, which isn't even real. He never gives us any proof that it is real. He's doing pretty good with it. Yet it's not like Steve Wallace numbers, and it's not even like the numbers he used to get for eating a sandwich in Bradford and then coming back to the house and getting 300,000 views in a couple of weeks. So it still has been material, yet the formula is working pretty good. And his own audience is giving up on him as a food reviewer. So just think of him as entering another phase of being a hack and following somebody else's original work.
Once in your life, if you're ticklish, there's a warning. If you're ticklish, be prepared, because some of the things they do, if you have sensitive feet, that makes you want to laugh or react and pull your foot away, and especially when they're like using that cheese grater thing on your feet to make them all nice and smooth.
Right now, the Canadian dollar is worth 70 cents American. Times are tough, to say the least. And in the middle of all that, it doesn't really matter that Ken's talking about his pedicure. Alright, so he's lucky enough to have the money for it. Go ahead. Whatever is your thing, do it. It's just that later on in this video, he's going to pretend like he's struggling. And that's what really disgusts me, and why I react to him in part.
But yeah, let me know in the comments below if you love getting pedicures, if you do it yourself. That's fine. So, I wanted to touch base on one of our viewers has been concerned about Cook and Review.
Here is where Ken begins to tell the fake story of why Cook and Review is being shelved again. Just remember, the real reason is it was doing good, yet not good enough. And Ken is the one who ruined it because he's lazy and greedy. And this is just a business.
This is a business. And I thought I'd make a follow-up video. And well, it's not a follow-up video. It's, I guess, a follow-up video to the comment. The whole video is about where to get butter. And again, I was actually on my way home, coming through from Newmarket to Bradford and then home, and I just hit up a bunch of stores on the way just to see who had the cheapest butter, and I wanted to make content for you guys to watch.
Maybe if you were trying to find out who has the cheapest butter and you shot footage of it and you offered it to Ken, do you think he would bother watching it?
So thank you very much for everybody to watch that. I didn't waste a whole lot of gas. I made a joke about that because some people might actually go out and go shopping around and zigzagging all over the place. But anyway, whatever. Let's get into, I think it's Gerbil, Sport Gerbil. And he's been concerned about Cook and Review. This is a business. And I said it was going to be a weekly thing, and then all of a sudden we just stopped doing it. So I guess there's a bunch of situations. So number one, this is a business. It is very hard to get Paul and I to be available on the same day.
That is bullshit. Ken has loads of leisure time available. It's just he doesn't want to plan hard enough to make these things happen. So the time is not a problem. It's that nobody cares because Ken ruined it by taking it away in the first place.
This is a business. We attempted it. We made 4 videos.
Get it right, Putz. You made 3, not 4. We reacted to all 3 of them.
For you guys. And I think it just doesn't work with my channel anymore.
Whether it does or does not, to try to get this thing to come back will take more than just 3 episodes. And so he's giving up on it again.
This is a business. I'm not saying that I'm not ever going to do a Cook and Review with Paul again. I'm not saying that. I am saying...
Notice that fake little joyless laugh that he puts in there to get you to believe something he's going to say, which is not the truth.
This is a business. That it is put on hold for a bit, because right now my channel is doing really well with these camps, this winter stuff. There's only so many weeks of winter. I was kind of hoping that the groundhog would see, all the groundhogs all over the world would see his shadow or her shadow and report that we're going to have 6 more weeks of winter, because I need to make more winter content. Unfortunately, I'm going to be away for a little bit here and there in tropical type situations.
He says unfortunately, as if we're all supposed to feel sorry for him that he's scheduled to go for 2 more vacations after he already had that fabulous cruise late last year. And a vacation from what? The content that he's making right now, babbling while driving, doing an errand?
Where I'm not going to be able to do the winter stuff, so I'm hoping once the winter's over and we start doing more spring, summer related camping stuff, that you guys still enjoy it as much as the winter stuff. I'm not sure what it is about the winter stuff.
We know what it is. Not only do you have no shame in copying a successful original work by Steve Wallace, you have convinced your silly audience that you're really in danger when you do these winter camps. They believe it, and that is why they're getting good results.
Hot tenting, stealth camping in blizzards. I don't know what it is, but I'm getting way more subscribers with that kind of content. So,
well, his fake stealth camps are doing pretty good. The subscribers are not matching. Take a look at this channel. The subs and the views pretty much match. For Ken, they're all out of whack. Is something funny going on? I'm only asking a question.
do I stop making content that's doing really well?
Look how he talks down to his audience and how he puts on a character while he does it. Do I stop doing content that's doing really well to make content that's not doing so good? Well, of course, no one expects him to do that. Of course, the real answer is, do you have enough work ethic to rebuild Cook and Review? Or would you rather just take the easy way, pretending that you're Steve Wallace? That's the real question.
This is a business. And do content that's not doing really well. So, Paul and I tried it.
Yes, he only made 3 episodes, and yes, it was fun for us to react to it because they failed. However, whether or not it could have been successful again, we'll never know. Because Ken gives up if things don't happen fast and easy for him. And that's the real reason.
This is a business. We had a schedule all planned out, how we were going to do it. Shoot, at least 1 to 2. 2 at the max, 1 at the least, obviously. Possibly, either do them all in 1 week, do a bunch in a week. But it's hard. Like, Paul's got to get all of his stuff together. I got to drive down to Paul's house, set up all the lighting. I got to bring my big tripod, my big cameras.
What does that weigh? 600 pounds? How many lights do you need to set up? 50? We're talking a tripod or 2, a couple of cameras, and some lights. It's not that difficult, Mr. Lazy.
This is a business. And I try to make it a better production value type thing, so it's a lot.
Put your fucking hands on the wheel, you dangerous, distracted driver!
A lot of work, and not one of those videos, was it 3 or 4 videos? Not one of those videos made it to 20,000 views. One of them even got 14,000 views. I'm not sure what the other 2 got, or the other one. But one of them almost reached 20,000, and I pay Paul.
We are not surprised. In addition to that, it's in poor taste for you to be telling everybody. If you're making weak content, and if you don't want to put in the work to rebuild a sub-brand, then don't blame it on the fact that you have to pay somebody you refer to as your best friend.
This is a business. So, do you continue making content where you lose half your revenue?
Do you see how cloying he is with his audience? So, am I supposed to keep making content that loses me money, or should I make the content that makes me money? The truth is, he gave up on it even when it was making money. He just wasn't getting as much as he thought it should have been getting. And now, he doesn't want to put in the work to rebuild it.
This is a business. To pay Paul to be in the videos. Again, I love Paul to death. He's my best friend. I was his best man at his wedding. He was my best man at my wedding. And I'm going to actually be...
For a change, Ken stopped himself from oversharing something. He probably has some role to play in the upcoming marriage of one of Paul's sons.
Anyway, I don't want to get into other things, but we've been best friends since high school, but I can't keep making that kind of content where I'm losing half my revenue to make content. Again, I love making content with Paul.
What he said there isn't true. First, I cannot keep making content while losing my revenue on it. That's not the truth. Ken is comfortably retired thanks to Carol. That's why she quit her job. She was a bit young for retirement. Why would anyone quit their job and take a smaller pension if they're gonna quit and then go on to suffer for lack of money? She's loaded. So she took some sort of early retirement, got like a bit of an early pension, which is lesser. They knew exactly what they're doing, what bills they have to pay, what income they'll have. They are set. And Ken just let us know, well, now we're going to go do this. That is Carol making the decisions because she's got the money. She wants to go places, she's going to go places. The other thing he says, I love making content for you guys. That's another lie. Ken approached YouTube with the idea to cash in on trends.
This is a business.
If he really loved making content with Paul, He should be doing it for fun. Nobody should be getting paid. And Paul should get a kick out of being on internet television, for an audience of, maybe 15,000 views or something. Ken is making all this about money.
This is a business.
And it doesn't get 20,000 views. I'm not doing this. Does he really expect people to believe they would put him in the street if he had a bit of fun with his friend Paul and made one of those cooks and reviews just for fun? He's lying.
Back in the day, it worked on my channel. It worked really well on my channel. I did food reviews and then cooking reviews. I even tried the whole vegan thing with Candace. That failed badly, but I tried.
He did not make very many episodes of that, so he'll never really know. Ken gives up quick if he doesn't get success instantly. His personality is, I'm taking my ball and I'm going home. That's why he gave up on CraveCon, even though he had a partner. After CraveCon was a flop, Dane was talking about rebuilding and making it better. Ken gave up.
You got to try things on your channel. I was trying to accommodate the people that love the fast food stuff. I was trying to accommodate people that want to cook stuff. And then I was also trying to accommodate the people that don't want to eat meat in their life. And so I was trying to I was kind of making a food channel that incorporated a whole bunch of different kinds of foods and stuff. But again, the vegan stuff didn't work at all. But the cook and review did really well. And then Paul had just before Paul had the motorcycle accident, I'm not sure what it was. He just got really busy.
Here comes Ken with another fake story. Remember the real reason why he took down Uncut and Raw. It wasn't because it wasn't making enough money. And here's the real reason, I remind you again, he walked away from Cook and Review.
This is a business.
Now Ken is going to walk you down the garden path and try to get you to believe that it's Paul's life that interfered with Cook and Review and why it is not successful.
And we just couldn't connect to make more cook and reviews, so people started losing interest in it. And then Paul had his motorcycle accident, so we couldn't make a video for almost a whole year. And then about 2 years later, Paul got cancer, and then we couldn't make content again. I think we tried here and there to drop a cook and review for all the people that love cook and reviews, but they still weren't getting the views. And again, I pay Paul to be in these videos and to help create this content, because it's time out of his day. He's got to stop what he's doing to make content for my channel.
So what you are indirectly saying is that Paul doesn't really enjoy making cook and review. Even though he's your best friend and the two of you enjoy getting together, having a few beers, a few laughs, and having a meal, turning it into a production is something that he doesn't enjoy doing, and you have to pay him for it. And if there isn't enough money going around for everybody, you're not interested in doing it at all.
This is a business.
So you don't really love making this content. There's no heart in it, and people can tell. It's fake.
So I pay him to be, and we came to an agreement on how much we pay him, and he's happy with it, I'm happy with it. The videos still make money, even 5-6 years later. Those videos still make money. Whenever Paul and I go out for dinner or whatever, I always try to treat him, whether it's lunch, dinner, breakfast, whatever. I always try and treat him, because again, the videos keep making money. We came to agreement on how much I'd pay him per video, but again, the videos just keep making money. Like, I always try to treat Paul when we go rock climbing or whatever. I'll buy him something, because it's just what I do, and I've tried to be as generous as I can towards my best friend. So at the moment, I'm sticking with all the camping stuff for now. The cook and reviews are going to be put on hold. I'm not sure for how long. I never say never, because every once in a while I free up time. Paul frees up time. We're like, hey, let's do some cook and reviews, because we love making them.
No, you do not. You said it yourself. This is a business.
This is a business.
And it costs money. And if it's not making money, why would I do it? That's what you said. If you would have done a few every now and then just for fun, then you would have kept it alive. Now it just looks alien to an audience that's consuming your fake Steve Wallace impressions.
The issue is, to be honest, the videos I released as cook and reviews, I lost subscribers. because my channel has gone kind of from this fast food thing into this stealth camping adventure type stuff, all the newest people that see me doing all this camping stuff, they don't really know about the past of the channel. They only know what's going on right now.
Yes, and that is what happens when you're a hack, and all you do is follow trends. If you had any passion for cook and review, you would have kept doing it, even if it would have not made as much money as you would have liked. Yet, you get angry quickly, give up on things, walk away, just like you did with CraveCon, and so now you try to bring it back, and the people who are consuming what you do now, which is chasing another trend, are like, what is this?
Oh, and if all of a sudden I hit them with a cook and review, people leave.
It is not as if a significant portion of them left, and if you kept trying with cook and review, you might bring them around. You give up too easily, and the bulk of what you do is to build formulas based on the original success of others.
That's just the way the internet seems to work. So, the first video I put up didn't do very well, lost subscribers. A week later, we put up another video, didn't do really well, lost subscribers. I can't keep losing subscribers because of content that Paul and I love making together.
If you really love making cook and review with Paul, then you could make it and leave it on your vlog channel. If putting it on the main channel scares away the people who want to watch you pretending to freeze at night.
So, we've been talking about this for years. Paul, get a YouTube channel. Get your AdSense in gear. Get your YouTube channel going. As soon as you launch your YouTube channel, I'll plug the shit out of your channel. Sorry for swearing, but I'm really passionate about Paul making his own channel. Paul, make a channel. I swear if you make a channel and we push the crap out of it, you'll get your 1,000 subscribers within days. I bet he would get at least 1,000 subscribers in days. Then he's got to start making some short content, not shorts, but shorter content, teaching people how to do simple things that, there's always people like, well, how long do you boil an egg if you want soft-boiled eggs? It's like those kind of videos. If you have do the helpful hint type videos, and then make long-form videos of you cooking full dinners. A lot of you guys said you loved when Paul would cook the whole meal, like the main part of the video, the sides, the entree or the appetizer, whatever. So he would do those whole things, and if he made those that are like 15, 20 minutes long, then he would get his 4,000 watch hours, which is what you need to become eligible to be a partner with YouTube and start making money.
Do you know what Paul should do if he really gets a YouTube channel going? He should just be himself and take none of your hack advice.
And Paul has seen me make a living off YouTube for the past 14 years of my life. In the last 5 years, I think. So in the last 14 years, I personally have made an income to support myself and my family. Carol left her job about 4 or 5 years ago. I can't remember exactly when. And now we both are surviving off my channel, off our channel.
That is bullshit. That is not how it is. Why would Carol take an early retirement from a steady and pretty easy government job working for the school board? She's not a teacher. She's not a principal. She's with the school board, which is not at all demanding. And Ken and Carol together decided to raise their family in that shack. They didn't go for a big proper house and a huge mortgage, so they've lived frugally when they should have had a proper house. Why would she walk away from a steady government job to suffer in poverty and struggle to maintain a YouTube channel which is dependent upon the tastes of the flavor of the month? It doesn't make any sense. She quit her job, and now we survive. We just barely get by. We're struggling. I had to save up to get this new Apple Watch, and that's what we're doing. She's working behind the scenes. That's all bullshit. This bullshit that she's working behind the scenes. She's not the person that does that stuff in their relationship. She doesn't have anything to do with it. You can see when she would show up in the live streams, it's all weird to her. And now he's going to try to get us to believe she's working behind. That's all the stuff that Ken did and still does. She's sitting around figuring out where she's going to travel to next and what other junk she's going to order off of Amazon. Because her father told her, take it, enjoy it. And that's what she's doing. They're not surviving and struggling and barely getting by.
It's our channel. I do all these adventures and stuff. Carol does all the behind the scenes stuff. And she supports the channel that way. While I'm out shooting videos, she's making arrangements for the next video. She's always watching the weather and stuff and letting me know about things that I don't have time to search up. And she does all the books and all that stuff. So she's just not super comfortable being in front of the camera like I am. I don't mind talking to you guys every single day. It doesn't bother me at all. But it bothers Carol a little bit. So to keep that in mind, Carol is in the videos once in a while. She doesn't mind it once in a while. She just can't. She's just not that type of person. She just doesn't have that type of personality like I do to be in front of the camera willy-nilly anytime I want to. I do it because I just love doing it. This is a business. She's just not super comfortable doing it. So, Sports Gerbil, I hope that answers your question. I know you're super passionate about it, and I apologize for the way I was kind of acting about it.
Ken is wrapping up another fake talk. I hope I apologize for anything that he's trying to make it sound like he's just told you the truth. Just like when he did the clickbait real talk video. I can see that. I can see where you'd be wrong. Yeah, I apologize that it kind of comes out that way. I can see where you'd think that I'd be doing clickbait when really I don't. He clickbaits all the time. He should just tell the truth. Look, Cooking Review, it didn't make enough money for me. I dropped it. We only do anything around here for money.
This is a business.
If you like it too fucking bad, because I tried and it didn't get a good response right away, so we just put it on the fucking shelf, and maybe I do it again, maybe I never do. I'm all about the money and following trends. Fuck off. You should know that by now.
This is a business. I just didn't have time to deal with responding to that at the time. I try really hard. I didn't want to make a negative video. Not that it's a negative video. I do try to be as transparent with you guys as possible because I consider a lot of you guys friends. This is a business of mine, and we talk all the time through social media, through my channels, and I appreciate every single one of you guys.
Yeah, right. That's why Ken Domik will not do free birthday shoutouts anymore. He considers his audience members to be friends. Yet, if you want a birthday shoutout, you have to pay for it. So, if you want one, go to Cameo and pull out your wallet, and he'll say happy birthday, because he's not going to do it for free like he used to. Because if he does, then people are going to be like, well, he does it for free, what do I have to pay for? And Ken is like, that's another revenue stream. And he says, I really enjoy talking to you guys and all the rest. He gave up doing his live streams. He promised all this live stream activity, and he only showed up 75% of the time. And then he says, look, I don't have time to do this. And now he sits there saying, I really like interacting with you guys. He can't find an hour a week. He can't even find an hour a month.
If it wasn't for you and the thousands of other people that watch my videos, I could not be doing this as a full-time living, supporting myself, my wife. All the things we do is because of you.
There is Ken wrapping up with a really fake, heartfelt moment. Everything that I do, it's because of you. I'm just an average Canadian everyman. Just surviving. I'm barely getting by. That's right. A YouTuber with my status barely makes enough money to get by in life. Carol and I, we survive. It's all because of you. Every morsel of food on the table, I'm the only breadwinner. Carol works diligently behind the scenes, and we do what we can. just to get by, just to survive, to make the content that I love. I love you guys. I love you. I don't want to do a live stream with you anymore, and if you want a birthday shout out, pull at your wallet or I'll say, fuck off, princess, don't bother me with your problems. I've got bills to pay. I've got bills on Rusty. That's right, Rusty needs another repair. Oh, whatever, the clunky van, help, it needs fixing. It's all because of you. It's all because of you. We just survive here. Carol! Get the extra drink package on the next vacation!
So thank you very much, and I'll try my hardest in the future. When you have a question in the comment section to reply, please be patient with me because I have so much stuff going on in my head.
He does. There are 4. They are beer, making sure he's properly copying Steve Wallace, tequila, and chicken sandwiches.
Personal stuff, stuff for the channel, business stuff, other people's business stuff. So I have got a lot of stuff going on swirling around my head, and sometimes when you guys ask certain questions, I just don't have the time to stop everything to make a reply video or to answer your questions in the comment.
That is what a live stream is for. You sit down, you turn on, and you interact with the audience. It actually takes more time and work to produce these bullshit sessions instead.
So please be patient with me. Please show your compassion and your empathy for me and my time and my family and my friends' time as well.
Please feel sorry for Ken Domik. And also, send him your money because he's barely getting by. Indeed, he and Carol just barely survive.
Because I've got these interesting different lives that I'm living all at the same time. So again, I appreciate every single one of you guys. I hope this reaches everybody who loves my channels. This is a business. And if you have other questions, leave them in the comments. But please, again, just be patient and let me get around to responding to them, whether it helps me make a video like it is now. I think this video is going to do really well because I'm responding to somebody who has been very passionate, and I can't remember the word. We've talked about, it's an issue to him. So, and I said, you're the one who's making a big issue, but you're not making a big issue. I just needed some more time to wrap that issue around my head, how to explain it to people. This is a business. And I hope this video helped. Thank you very much once again. Last time I'm going to say that. I appreciate every single one of you guys. This is a business. I hope to see you in the next video. Ciao. Bye. This is a business. Is that it? That's it. British peanut. Double. That sucked like shit. That sucked huge fucking shit. White Canadian. The Japanese are horrible people. White Canadian. The Japanese are horrible people. White Canadian. The Japanese are horrible people. Tangy.